This is a message from your guides reading for past remembrance. Okay, so I have two group crystals here, and then I have one crystal that I pulled for you. I'm going to go ahead and use one of the group crystals to surround us in some positive space. So this is my zoisite. My brain went kind of dead there. Okay, so this is my zoisite. This has all to do with trusting the universe. At least in my readings, that's what it tends to have to do with. I'm sure there are other things that it helps with as well. Okay, so this also has to do with trusting in like a divine outcome in a sense. Um, so trusting that everything that is meant will happen is zoisite, and then I have my sodalite here. So this is about creating boundaries. It's a throat chakra stone, so creating boundaries, expressing yourself in an authentic way, in a divine way. There's also some third eye energies here, and I think I'm going to mention that as well. It has to do with mental clarity. It has to do with your intuition, but especially it has to do with focusing your mind and your thoughts and your emotions as well, and being grounded and still and focused, so being present. And then this is the one that I pulled for you. So this is aura quartz, and or sometimes aura angel quartz it's called. So this is also a throat chakra crystal, but there's more of a kind of soft energy with this. Like sodalite has a lot to do with setting boundaries, speaking your truth. So the aura quartz has more to do with connecting to angels. And even though it's a throat chakra stone, it has to do more with healing and kind of healing the throat chakra, healing your sense of self and the way that you express yourself, and what you put out. What you put out to yourself and towards yourself, and also what you put out towards others. But there's something about how you see the world around you. So when I was surrounding you in the positive space, so one thing that was kind of sticking out right away was there was kind of an energy on your forehead and your eyes. And it felt like a lot of thoughts, a lot of mental activity, but it also, I don't know, it's almost like your mental activity kind of fogs the way that your ability to see things clearly is what it kind of felt like, because it was specifically like your eyes kind of standing out. There was energy over your eyes in a sense, or just kind of with your eyes. It felt like this kind of chaotic energy. So it's like your ability to, okay, it's like your ability to see things clearly kind of goes down. But what your guides are saying is that it's like you try and look at everything automatically in this analytical way where you try and figure everything out. And so it's like you, well, a person doing that, obviously you are thinking, if you're being analytical or you're logically trying to figure everything out, then obviously you're trying to come to more clarity, or you even can think that you are getting clear on things, or feel like you're becoming more clear. But it actually feels like your analytical mind seriously works against you, and it causes you to almost view things in a worse way, or in like a realistic way. So it's like almost more realistic to your analytical mind to view things as negative. That makes more sense to this analytical side of your brain. Like the way that you think, and really, of course, it's thought forms, but it's thought forms that you agree with, that you're used to agreeing with. So again, they're saying this thing which they had brought up in another reading at another point. So it feels like you identify with them so intensely that they feel like they are you. So those are identity level thought forms. So they really feel like you. That's almost why they're saying like this side of you, or yourself, or your mind, or your brain. They're saying brain because there is also this kind of machine kind of aspect, or even like physical machine kind of aspect there, where you can almost get in like a kind of habit. It does feel as well like it can be triggered by different things, but you need to catch what it's triggered by, okay? And it's usually an emotional response. It's a response to some emotion. Even if it's like there's no reason to have a sudden emotion, or nothing even brings it up, it's just some thought form just sends it to you. And then you have some worry, you have some like explosion of thought, or thoughts. In other words, you have like a stream of thoughts because of this worrying emotion, or different emotions. Most of it feels like centers around worry, fear, negativity, like in other words, of worrying or fearing about negativity. Like they were saying, it's like your analytical mind, this is almost what it knows best in a sense. It sees this as the most probable outcome for you, for itself. Now, obviously, they don't want you to identify with it as actually being your mind. They're stating that that's the way that you identify with it. That's how strong it feels to you. But at the same time, they want you to get the concept that it isn't actually yourself. So you need to kind of stop this dead in its tracks. Because it's not even you thinking this stuff. It's not you going through all of this stuff that you're triggered to think and feel. Thought forms can think in an analytical way, especially an identity level thought form. If that's what they're programmed to do, if that's what they've habitually done over and over and over, especially if you've had them for a very long time, then they're going to know how you work. They're going to know what to send to you, what thoughts to send to you, what kind of thoughts are almost going to drive you sort of crazy, and what kind of emotions will stir up those thoughts. So it's like you have one thought form sending you an emotion, you have other ones that can send you these bursts of thoughts, and then you're just agreeing with it and going along with it and creating even more of this stream of thoughts. And again, it doesn't even feel like it's normally triggered by anything. If it were triggered by something, then it could probably be even worse. But it feels like a lot of times it's just some emotion, some random emotion that doesn't really have to be there. It doesn't need to be there for any reason. It's not like you're expressing like a real thing. It's more just like a habit of being in this emotion. So I'm coming to the time limit here. Okay, I'm actually at the time limit, but whatever. I usually go a little over anyway. 10 minutes is just so hard. But your guides are so what they're saying that they really what they want you to it even feels like I want to almost use the word need you to do is okay, they want you to meditate, to learn to meditate, okay? But they don't mean in this way where you are like oming or you are visualizing something or whatever. This is specifically to not have any thoughts, not have any mental output whatsoever. It feels like that's the only thing that's going to help you start shutting up these thought forms that are just used to going off in these tangents and then getting you to just go into these tangents, which your guides are also saying can be really bad, even in the sense of what you attract to yourself. Obviously, it has to do with your mental and your emotional output. So it's something that you have to work on. But mainly, that's what they want you to almost like incorporate into your day and your time and adjust to this feeling of having nothing interrupting your kind of quiet space in your mind. If it were just you, you would not have very many thoughts at all. And I don't only mean you. They don't only mean you saying that. That's like so many people. That's pretty much everyone. Unless you're some monk that's been out there meditating for a really, really long time, we're used to having a lot of communication sent to us. Okay, so that's kind of your assignment in a sense that they're giving you to work on. And they're saying that this needs to be a long-term thing, because I also have a feeling that it's going to take you kind of a little while as well to get better at it. I feel like you might struggle with it at first because you might catch yourself a lot, like starting to have thoughts. Okay, so that is all that your guides have to say for this reading. So thank you very much. I truly hope that this benefits you, and I will see you in the next one. Namaste.